Hey everybody, welcome back to Crossflix, where we talk about movies and TV shows across all different genres. Today, we're going to be talking about The Adam Project, so let's get to it. The Adam Project stars Ryan Reynolds, Walker Scobell, Jennifer Gardner, Zoe Saldana, and Catherine Keener. It's about a man named Adam who goes back in time and runs into himself. So it's like a little mix of like Back to the Future and like Star Wars or any other time travel movies pretty much that you gotta go back and you can't run into yourself, but you do, and people are out to get you. I gotta say, I really liked this movie. This movie was so much fun to watch. I was captivated every minute of it. Usually I try to like jot down little notes in the movie, and I didn't this one because I was having too much fun watching it. Little man, he does a great job playing a young Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is his typical witty, banterish character in this movie. But this little kid does a really good job playing a young version of him, and he's definitely a standout star, which I absolutely loved. I thought it was so funny. And then when they're both bantering back and forth with each other, it's kind of like when you're having that internal fight with yourself externally. It's so funny to watch. I loved it. The director of this movie, he's done quite a few things, but most recently he's done Free Guy, and I thought that was a pretty cool movie as well. I liked so I feel like between these two movies, Free Guy was the focus on comedy, and then this movie was the focus on action. And he's doing Deadpool 3 next, which is a big combination of both. So I'm actually really looking forward to it and what he's going to do with that. I think he could do a great job with the character. I hope they keep Deadpool rated R, but if they don't, he's made two really funny PG-13 movies so far, so I'm sure he can do a great job. What I really like about this movie is the element of time travel. They take little bits and pieces of time travel from each different like franchises and kind of mesh it all into its one own thing. So they took inspiration from Back to the Future, of course. You could just tell, just watching the movie, took inspiration from Back to the Future. And then they also take inspiration from Avengers Endgame, and like that if you connect with yourself when you go back in time, it doesn't change your future, that stays the same, but it's going to create an alternate timeline. And then it takes inspiration from a couple other movies as far as the fixed timeline. I guess like that could come from like Doctor Strange, What If, or you could definitely tell there's a lot of influence of other movies that have time travel within them. And I like the way they kind of like it. Time travel, it never makes sense. It's so confusing because it can go so many different ways, because any way you think of it could be the right way since there is no proof of the real way. So, but I did really like how much they took a little piece from everything and just made it like one big piece. So that was really cool. Ryan Reynolds has his typical quips and mannerisms, wittiness, and everything like that, which made it funny. So it was a lot like pretty much everything he does. It kind of sucks because I feel like he's going to start getting typecast into this kind of a character where you're just there to be funny and not that serious. Like, he was really serious in the movie Buried, which wasn't that bad of a movie. But, like, almost ever since, like, Deadpool, he's been just typecast as the funny guy that just has all the humor for the movie. Which, thankfully, he doesn't have it for all the movie because he's got the younger version of himself and they're kind of balancing him out. So that worked. I hope that in the future, he has some roles that are kind of away from this because he can do a good job and he is a good actor. I do also like they have some throwback or callbacks to Deadpool.
You gotta do superhero landing. Wait for it. Ooh, superhero landing. Yeah, that's really hard on your knee. Superhero landing coming up. Oh, fuck.
So little things like that fans, like hardcore fans, will pick up on, that like pretty, like if you're just casually watching, like you won't really notice unless you've seen the movie multiple times. So I thought that was pretty funny, especially because it was like the younger him that did the quote. Another thing I really like about this movie too is that it's funny when it needs to be and it's serious when it needs to be. Like, there are very serious moments in this that I won't talk too much about because it's really spoilerish. Like, I didn't even know from the trailer what had happened to a couple of the characters. But when it needs to be serious, it is, and it doesn't take away that serious moment with a campy joke. Like, they save the campy jokes for the campy times, and they save the serious moments for the serious moments. So I really like that a lot. I also liked how I feel like this could have taken inspiration from somebody's actual life. So it just gives you that feeling that if somebody's there that typically isn't or is no longer there, and you get to spend an extra day with them, it takes that kind of personal experience and makes it into the movie, which I really like that a lot. I thankfully don't have that too much in my life in the way that the movie presented it, but I know some people that do, and I feel like that's a really cool thing that this movie did. It makes you imagine that kind of scenario and what can happen. There are a lot of movies that do that, but just this movie took a little bit of everything that I love and kind of had it all in there, and I love that part of the storyline, so that was really cool. So for me, I feel like it's also just a really good story, and I would like to look into the director's life and see if he has gone through something like that, or if anybody in the cast has gone through something like that kind of brought that storyline out and pitched it and made that in there, or if it was always like that, if it was going to be something else. Anyways, if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll understand what I mean when you watch it. Next, I want to talk about the pacing of the movie. The pacing is really well. I think without the credits, it's only like an hour and 40 minutes long. So it gets to it quick, and it doesn't really slow down. There's one little slow moment when they're transitioning from the second act to the third act, but it doesn't last very long. It's like maybe 3 or 4 minutes, and then it picks right back up again. It doesn't stop until the very end. So I like that a lot. It didn't dilly-dally. It just went to the point, said what needs to be said. So they do what they need to do, and then it ends. So it works out well because there's enough action, there's enough slow moments, there's enough serious moments, and there's enough comedy in it for it to be pieced together perfectly. And in my opinion, it's pieced together perfectly. I think this movie is definitely one that could be marked as a classic, like Back to the Future or E.T. or any of those kind of movies, because it's very much a family-friendly movie. Like, I think anybody in any family would watch it and have a good time with it. They could find something in it that they would like. It's not designated just to people that like comedy, or just to people that like time travel movies, or just to people that like serious movies, or just to people that like action movies. It has everything in there. So I thought that was really cool, and also really important too. A lot of movies aren't like that anymore, so it's good to see that people still have that kind of mindset when making a movie. Without getting too deep into spoilers, Ryan Reynolds' character, Adam, has to go back in time to stop time travel from becoming a thing. So, for whatever reason, we don't really know until about halfway through, he wants this to stop, and then he runs into his younger self, played by Walker Scobell. Forgive me if I pronounce his name wrong. So, that's when they start finding trouble. There's an issue with the time jump because of a fight that happens at the beginning of the movie. And he gets jumped to the wrong time, runs into himself, and then from there the story plays out. You literally can't say too much aside from that without there being spoilers. So I'm gonna leave it at that for my synopsis of the movie, I guess. For me personally, I feel like by the end of it, you're wanting more. So I was really waiting for there to be a post-credit scene to kind of tease another one, and there wasn't. I feel like this could easily lead into a franchise. Again, I can't say too many spoilers, but by the end of it, it's left to where this could be the one and only one, or they could easily do more if they wanted to. Like, there's always a way to do more. So, and I would love to see more. I would love to see more from this cast, this crew, the director, all of it, because I had so much fun watching this movie. Like, I could watch it again tonight if I wanted to, after already watching it today. Like, it's a really good time, and as soon as it's available in 4K, if it ever is, I'll buy the DVD. So yeah, that's my quick little review on it. Again, I loved everything about it. The action, the comedy, the seriousness, the story, the acting, everything. I thought it was so much fun to watch. If you can, it's on Netflix. Watch it, then watch it again. If you didn't like it, let me know down below what you didn't like in the comments. And then if you did like it, let me know what you did like. Refrain from spoilers for those that haven't seen it, if enough people even watch this video. So yeah, that's it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one.